shall be returning.
Laws that should have protected our consumers is they are scattered, and and on top of that they are hard for a simple Ugandan to read, because they are scattered within different acts. And we are also concerned that most of these scattered laws that would be protecting consumers require a person to have a contract. Yet we are well aware that most of our Ugandans are purchasing goods and services from retail shops. So it is very hard for someone to have a contract. Therefore, it is very hard for someone to get redress under the existing laws. So the Trade Committee, under Rule 159, has decided to come up with a private members bill entitled the Consumer Protection Law. This bill, amongst others, has a sole purpose to safeguard the consumers from purchasing goods and services which are defective, deceptive, or fraudulent. The consumers are the most important aspect in any business sector. The fact is, business cannot and will not thrive without consumers. Indeed, businesses have rights, but analogously, so do consumers. We are bringing this bill for the following reasons. One, goods out there. Two, we're also going to bring a bill to protect the rights of our consumers' safety, especially with the health. We have seen alcohol being sold to minors and several other drugs that are being sold to minors, and so much more. We're also going to protect our consumers from predatory lending. We have seen people lending our Ugandans, who are meant to be consumers, money which is believed to have easy credit. However, it has exorbitant repayment rates, and also at times has hidden fees. We're also going to protect our consumers from predatory pricing. You are aware that during Christmas, some of the buses increase prices of transport. You are aware at times people take opportunity when there is scarcity of fuel to increase the price of fuel. We also are aware during COVID, everyone was a witness, private hospitals increased the cost of treatment. We are also going to protect our consumers from purchasing goods that are of poor quality and quantity. We are already in possession of some bags of cement that are supposed to be 50 kilograms, but in actual sense they weigh much less than that is portrayed on the packaging. We are also going to provide redress for small consumers. We are going to set up small claims courts at every district, so whoever is aggrieved will have a chance to seek redress and compensation. We're also going to protect our consumers from misleading information. If you believe your commodity cures cancer, or your commodity has certain ingredients and is labeled on the packaging, whatever is labeled on the packaging should be the actual content within that commodity. So basically, we have decided to move a private members bill as a committee with the sole purpose to protect our consumers. Members, you want to add on?
You have had no remedies because you can't go to court. You have consumed meat that has been contaminated. You develop challenges, but where can you find redress? You find schools opening, and it is when taxis and buses are increasing fares. And then you ask yourself why. When you have many people going back to school, why shouldn't you even reduce it because you have more customers? You saw what happened during COVID, that hospitals would charge up 200 million. It is unfair, but you have nowhere to find redress. You have a situation whereby schools, because we are talking about services too. Schools are increasing fares, up to 1.5 million unnecessary requirements. The requirements are more than the fees itself, the tuition. But where do parents find redress? So all we are saying now, that we must run away from lamentation, where ministers just give notices, where ministers just give directives, but at the end of the day, what can you do to a head teacher who has increased the fees? What can you do to a bus owner who has increased the fares? And so for us to manage that, there is need for us to have a law, so that you have breached the law, and therefore you can be taken to court. As of now, ministers have been lamenting. You remember the Minister of Education was saying, don't increase fees. So what? You remember the Minister of Finance was saying, you banks, don't increase interests during COVID. SACCOs, don't demand for your money during COVID. But you can only make statements. It's time for us as a country, as people, as representatives, to come out and say, enough is enough. We must protect our people. You have had these money lenders, very many. They will give you 200,000 shillings, but in a year they are taking about 40 million. Some people, I'm told, they even switch off their phones a day you're supposed to pay, and then they take your vehicle, they take your land. So we must do business, but within an environment where the customers and consumers are protected. I want to thank you.
That it is no secret that we have fake products on the market, like everyone has stated. And even if you went out there to bargain for any cheaper product, the businessmen will frankly come out and tell you that cheaper options we have are the fake ones. So we are wondering, what are we going to do to these products that are sold to us and to our people? And also, our other worry is most of these products which are fake are certified, meaning that these existing laws we are having, like the National Drug Act, the Weight and Measures Act, and also other institutions we have, like the UNBS, maybe they have not done enough. So we need to regulate these laws more by introducing this legislation, the Consumer Protection Bill. So by this, we are going to be protecting our consumers from consuming the unfair products which are on the market. And also, when I speak on the economics world, it will save us, it will save our country from struggling with the international market. Whenever we keep exporting substandard products and non-value adding products, we shall be outcompeted. But when we introduce this law, it will help our country to protect our products and to outcompete on the international market. I thank you.
This bill is what majority Ugandans have expected for a long time. As you are aware, so much happens in this country, and to consumers, no one is in control. They are always on the losing side, whether it's services or products. So I think the law is going to create a lot more responsibility on the producers of services and the producers of products. Because for the first time, they will now be responsible. The banks that provide credit will be responsible to account. These days, you can when you sign up with a bank, you can get to bank your money. But when you are withdrawing, the bank will tell you you can only withdraw this amount. And yet, according to the requirements, you should actually withdraw your money, but you can't access your money. Or they can ask you to access your money in bits. And the machine tells you there are no notes for that. And by you withdrawing twice, the bank is already gaining, money. So you want to get 4 million, you have to break it into 1 million. It means you withdraw 4 times. And in all those withdrawals, you are being charged. And you are not, you never get remedy for that. The same thing with airtime and the services we buy by use of the available telecommunication services. So this law is going to correct that and will enable Ugandans to ask for accountability from the vendors. I think it will also increase the competence of those particular companies that are producing these products all those companies that are producing the services and make them more competitive. Because if we are to compete with the rest of the world, these laws are already in other countries in existence. So we are no longer living in isolation as a country, as Uganda. And I believe that this law is going to increase the level of responsibility from corporate companies.
Tourism and Industry said that it will move the protection law that is aimed at protecting consumers from false advertisement, predatory pricing and substandard products. According to the chairperson of the committee, Honorable Mwine Mpaka, although there are several laws in the country that protect consumers, but they are scattered, making it very difficult to rely on them. He pointed out Section 3 of the Uganda National Bureau of Standards Act, that is Section 10 of the Contracts Act 2010, Section 13 of the Sale of Goods and Supply of Services Act, that is Section 5 of the National Drug Policy and Authority Act, and of course, and Section 1, 2, and 3 of Food and Drug Act, and so many others. Like I said before, that this is meant to protect the consumers in two aspects. One, the quality of the products that they consume, but also looking into the pricing at the same time. So that is what the bill will be sorting out regarding that. All right, it's exactly 49 minutes past the hour of 9 a.m. and we've come to the end of SMB this morning. Very grateful from where we started from the news recap till down to this particular time, as of course we are winding up the entire show. Don't forget channel 394, that's on GoTV, and channel 372 DSTV, at Smart 24 TV on Twitter, Smart 24 TV Facebook, and Smart 24 TV Live on YouTube, as you'll be in position to get us at whatever part of the country you will be at. Till tomorrow, good morning.
We want to thank government. Through the Ministry of Health, it has done a lot of work in Mubende district. Through the Prime Minister, we received food relief and other amenities which we have already gotten and have been distributed to the people of Mubende, and some are yet to come. We appreciate that. In implementing or putting into action what the President directed, there needed to be food relief, which has already come. But about the other things that have been reported about, the cases, yes, are a little going down, and so many directives are still moving on because we are still under lockdown. Mubende district status of cases has shown improvement, but Kasanda is still on the high end, and considering the fact that every patient or suspect or case that has been identified in Kasanda is treated in Mubende district, it really takes a lot of effort for Mubende to ensure that we manage the situation that we are going through as of now. Maybe the other thing that I have to clarify about the report which you people could have missed is the fact that Mubende district does not have 10 sub-counties. It has 19, amongst which 3 divisions in the municipality and then 3 other town councils. So Mubende district, having received more money than Kasanda received, that could be explained that way. However, there is also ground on which Honorable Nsamba and Kasanda district can stand to request for more funds, surely, because we right now see so many cases coming up in Kasanda district, and these have a number of contacts that need to be followed. So they really need money, and I know Honorable Nsamba will really follow it up to see that they get what they deserve. But also, we request Honorable the Ministry of Finance to look into the fact that when the municipality is a standalone, is an autonomous local government that needs funding for itself, because we have an appropriation process through the parliament, and then we have budgets passed at local levels. But when it comes to a municipality, it is an autonomous government within a district. So they need money to facilitate the response as of now, and then facilitating the implementation of the guidelines and directives that were put by the President to see that we really come to the end of Ebola in